वन्दे सिंहमुमापतिं सुरगुरुं वन्दे जगत्कारणं वन्दे पन्नगभूषणं शशिधरं वन्दे पशूनां पतिं वन्दे सूर्यशशाङ्कवह्निनयनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं वन्दे भक्तजन आश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे भक्तजन आश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करं. Friends, yoga is a science of management. Management of place, management of time, management of money, management of family, management of society, management of everything including the body, management of mind, management of intellect, management of wife, management of children, management of husband. The science of management is necessary for success, to make ourselves attractive. Whatever may be our possession, that has to be properly presented. There are people who can make themselves attractive with their limited resources. There are girls who can make themselves very beautiful with simple, less costly clothing, decent. There are girls who wear the costliest clothes but look very ugly. There is the management technique. Face is to be kept in order, hair is to be kept in order, the whole dressing procedure. If you go to the beauty parlor, you will find the techniques of face management, hair management, body management, clothes management. What is home science? When the income of the husband is 5,000 rupees, how do you make the house beautiful? When the income is 1 lakh, how do you make it beautiful? Whatever may be the resources, same is the case with knowledge, same is the case with feelings, same is the case with the words. With the limited vocabulary, we can produce beautiful poetry. With excellent vocabulary, we may make an ugly speech. The management of words is poetry. The management of thoughts is your logic. The management of your feelings is your imagination. Everywhere, the science of management is present. That science of management is yoga. In a single phrase, it is organizational skill that is needed everywhere. Swami Vivekananda was in Chicago. He was a guest in the house of an American elderly lady. From the 11th of September 1893, he began delivering speech after speech all over the state, and he became very, very popular. Every day he was invited to deliver more than 3 to 4 talks, and everywhere he had his fans, he had his admirers, he had his devotees, he had his worshippers. And people would naturally ask him, "Sir, what is your phone number?" Now such question. In those days, he was asked, "Sir, where do you stay? Can we write to you? What is your address?" And Swamiji used to give the address, Swami Vivekananda, care of such and such a lady, such and such a place, etc. Every day, his people used to write letters like anything. And every day he would receive more than 200 to 300 letters. And it was not within his reach to go through all of them. one day his hostess said, Swamiji, you are receiving many letters. If you give me permission, I shall go through them. The important letters I shall give you, the others I shall give you the information. Ma, I have no secret. You can go through all my letters. She was given the blank check. She was going through the letters, and to her surprise, she found most of the letters were written by women. Among the women, most of them were written by the elderly women and still virgins. And what is the content of the letters? Love, love, love. Swamiji, I love you. Swamiji, I love you. So many girls are writing love letters, elderly women are writing love letters. Susi Purushule Pramasivova Pumsam Mohana Rupaya. Sri Ramachandra Prabhu was described. Even men were drawn to the wonderful personality of Lord Ram. Swami Vivekananda was able to draw everybody's attention, and everybody was writing a letter of admiration. And this hostess was a little worried. This young brahmachari came from India. He is hardly 30 years, very attractive. He is like a matinee idol. So many American women are mad after this young man. Does this man go back to India as a brahmachari, or does he take an American girl? Was the worry of that hostess. To add tension to her imagination, every day he was coming late. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And the lady was a little worried. Young brahmachari, he is like my son. I must send him back to his motherland, Mother Bharat, as a brahmachari. She was worried. One day, at about 11 o'clock in the night, Swami Vivekananda returned to the house after delivering a speech in some place. And his eyes were half closed. The door was opened by the hostess. He stepped into the house and he was muttering. He was murmuring. He was saying one word repeatedly. With his half-closed eyes, Artha Nimilita Netra, and that word was fascinating. Fascinating. In English, fascinating is a fascinating word meaning beautiful, wonderful, exciting, enthralling, enchanting, mesmerizing, charming, irresistible, attractive, admirable, unimitated, inimitable. All these words are concentrated in the single word fascinating, most beautiful. Vivekananda entered the house saying beautiful, wonderful. Young boys, young girls, when they return from the college, mothers and fathers have the problem. What is it they are speaking? Wonderful, beautiful. Who is that? My girlfriend, my boyfriend. This is the tension of every parent. Now this American hostess was a little worried because Swami Vivekananda was using the word fascinating, fascinating again and again and again. The lady lost hopes of sending Swami Vivekananda back to India as a brahmachari. Slowly she went to him and asked him, Swamiji, who is that lucky girl that has won your heart, that has fascinated you? Swamiji opened his eyes fully, looked at that American elderly lady, the hostess. Ma, it is not any girl that has won my heart in US. It is not any individual that has fascinated me. I have been observing for the past 2 months in US. Everywhere, the one thing that is most fascinating are organizational skill. We Indians are not that perfect in the organizational skill. We don't follow the time. We don't follow the procedure. We don't follow the decency and decorum of the place. In a temple, we speak and make it a fish market. We don't maintain that serenity. And if you go to the airport nowadays, it has become worse than a city bus stop. We do not know where to keep quiet, where to shout, where to converse. We are people with less organizational skill, but extraordinary genius. Indians are known for their intellectual, wonderful caliber. Each individual is a genius. In the West, that intellectual brilliance is absent, but only one thing they have, they are capable of organizing the intelligent people. Brahmananam anekatvam. Here in India, we don't cooperate with each other. We don't follow the discipline. We are to choose our own individual path, each according to his way. All over the world, Indians are acclaimed to be the great people of wonderful genius. The entire Western country is ruled by the Indian thought. The IT industry is monopolized by the Indians. NASA has many Indian scientists. More than 65% of the scientists in NASA are from India. And to add to the glory of our great country, in England, to teach English to the English children of English parents, Indian teachers are chosen and they are imported. Such is the glory of India. Each is an expert. Great thinkers we have, great philosophers we have, great yogis we have, great scientists we have, but unfortunately, we don't come together. We don't have that organizational skill. If one girl can sweep the room in 10 minutes, 10 girls must be in a position to sweep the room in 1 minute. But all the 10 girls will not sweep it at all. They will be fighting, quarreling, talking, speaking. This is our nature. We don't come together. We don't work together. It's only in the prayer we say we work together, we think together, but in reality we have our paths different. In America, I find that organizational skill. The moment 4 people come together, one is president, the other is secretary, another is a treasurer, another is a wonderful person to carry out the instructions of the president, and the first class organization is built. Britisher came to India and he has conquered the India not by his wonderful quality of intellectual genius, but on account of his organizational efficiency. After all, a clerk in East India Company was able to do it simply because of his organizational skill. It is the organizational skill that makes a function wonderful, that makes a country glorious. I would like to go back to India and see to it that that organizational skill is implanted in the minds of Indians. With all our abilities, we have to shine better. With all our abilities, we have to make our country much more glorious. What is lacking, what is not sufficient in India is our organizational skill, managerial skill, that science of yoga, science of management in yoga must be made popular. Yoga is management of body. Yoga is management of mind. Yoga is management of intellect, management of the habitat, management of the society, management of the entire world. That was our message from the rishis. Unfortunately, we have fallen from the great heights given to us by the glorious rishis. We have to revive it. Swami Vivekananda in US was fascinated by the organizational skill. Today, we have to show that skill of organization in the function. Our managerial skill is to be exhibited during the function. The minister from Delhi has come to see how our yoga, our management science is being implemented here. Bodily management, our psychic management, our intellectual management, our stage management, our audience management, our auditorium management. The place is to be well managed, the time is to be well managed, and the entire procedure is to be well observed. Therefore, we have an opportunity today to prove that we are all yogis, that we are all experts in the managerial skill, managerial art. The health minister, honorable health minister has landed. He is in our campus. He'll be here and he'll be inaugurating our Anveshana building. He will be coming to our stage by about 11:30. 15 minutes before, we are all expected to arrive here and sit in the allotted place. 11:35, we expect everybody to come. When we sit, we have to observe no mobiles, no children to be brought inside, and we must learn to sit like yogis, not like sickly people. Sit erect. And it's the time to listen, to enjoy, or absorb ourselves in yogic meditation, keeping the eyes wide open. The function would last for about 3 hours. Once we enter the hall, no question of going out. We have to sit right through. We cannot get out of the hall. Therefore, please tell our patient, participant friends, they may be curious to come, but some of them may not know English, they may not know Hindi, they may not be strong enough to sit for 3 hours. Such people, please ask them not to come. All the students and staff have to be present. The other elderly people, sickly people who have the curiosity to come but cannot sit may stand outside. There is a provision for displaying the proceedings outside. The function starts and it is likely to end at 1:30 or 1:45. For about 3 hours, we must sit well, show ourselves to be real yogis, not sickly people. We must show ourselves to be organized people. We must display our discipline, our decency. The visitors must be thrilled, surprised. What an organization, yoga center. If only all the colleges and universities are disciplined like this, the entire face of the country would change and Mother Bharat would be happy to have her children to be the pillars of this country. This is the time. Please observe 3 hours. Let us be prepared to sit and observe silence and cooperate with the activities so that everybody is benefited by the proceedings. May we now meditate on that wonderful person of organizational skill, Sri Krishna Paramatma. Let's meditate on him. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरि ओम्।